Hi everybody, Cheryl and Lady coming to you from the Ladies Garden and Home, and today I thought we could talk about the wonderful ordinary tasks of the garden. I wanted to talk about those ordinary tasks of the garden. After all of the tasks that we had going on in May and preceding that, the seedlings and starting seeds and caring for the seeds and figuring out where we were going to plant everything and plot everything out, we can take a little bit of a breather. I mean, not really, but get on to the ordinary tasks of the garden. And that's the part that I really love. That's the every morning getting up and taking a little turn in the garden and just sort of surveying what needs to be done for the day, for the week, and how I keep it organized as well. I'm Catholic, and the Catholic Church has what's called ordinary time. And interestingly enough, ordinary time started Monday, this previous Monday. So it goes from Pentecost to the beginning of Advent. And anyway, I thought it had a very good kind of correlation with the garden. So I've told you before that how I organize specific tasks for the week with my sticky notes. And every Sunday evening, generally, I write down what my garden tasks for the week are going to be. Those are specific tasks like, you know, get this planted. For example, I have to get my winter squash finally in the ground. Some flowers, figuring out where there's some holes in the garden and popping things in that I have still in the seedling trays. I keep track of my weekly gardening tasks on a yellow sticky note that I put down everything that I want to get accomplished for the week and check it off as I go. And then when I'm done for that week, it goes into my planner. I love this planner, by the way. It's set up by week and then by month, and it's got plenty of space and pages for me to take notes, write things down. It's supposed to be very inspirational, but I end up using it a little bit more practically than that. Not much of a journaling person. Anyway, so those tasks are specific to what I need to get done that particular week. But then there are your everyday tasks, the ordinary tasks that you really need to take care of perpetually. But every day there is something that needs to be done. And there are three things that I start my day with that always have to be done. One is imperative, and that is to clean up Lady's poop before I even get started. So I do that first thing in the morning. And then I have to turn the compost bin, which I'm really, really bad at, which is probably why I don't have much compost and I still have to buy it. And then the third thing is I just take a turn around the garden and figure out what needs to really be done. So just what are some of those ordinary tasks for our ordinary time in the garden? So the daily tasks start with me coming out in the morning and just sort of keeping an eye out for what needs to get done throughout the day. And I'll give you a really good example of why this is important to do every day. Yesterday I came out here and there was something on my Asiatic lily that I had never seen before and hope to never see again. I discovered something disgusting. You see that? That's bug poop. And you see this? See these things? Come on, focus. Those are lily leaf beetle larvae, and they are disgusting. To conceal themselves, they poop and then throw it on their backs so you can't see them. So I've got some Dawn dishwashing soap, and I'm going to be plucking them off. What I discovered was that these bugs came over from Europe. They think that they came over on tulip bulbs into Canada, and then they made them their way down through New England in the past 50 years or so. So hopefully I saved this plant, the mama and her babies. They hibernate over the winter in the soil. So unless you can catch them and kill them to prevent them from having more babies next year, they will infest lilies in particular, the Solomon seal, lily of the valley, not daylilies though, because daylilies aren't true lilies, but they really do love the lilies. All right. Hopefully, disaster averted for now. This is also when I test to see if things need to be watered. Things might look dry on the surface, but if you stick your finger down, that still has some dampness to it. This year I'm planning to, instead of taking on watering the entire garden at once, I'm going to break it up into right, center, and left, because last year it was just, took too long. But these containers pretty much are going to be needing water much more frequently than the ones in the ground. Then there's those tasks that really need to be done at least once a week. Fertilizing. If, for example, you pick Fridays to fertilize, it's Fertilizer Friday. If you pick Thursdays to thoroughly soak your garden, if it hasn't rained for a while, then you've got Thirsty Thursdays. You got Weeding Wednesdays. So that kind of thing just kind of helps it stick in my mind. So in addition to my cup of coffee in the morning, what I also bring out with me are these two baskets. This one has all of my tending stuff. It has my snippers, it has my scissors, it has my gloves. Let's see, what else? These are mosquito sticks that I can light, keep the buggies away. Speaking of keeping the buggies away, this is a mixture that I make of my moisturizer with SPF 30, and I mix it with some mosquito tick repellent lotion, so it doesn't smell too bad, and it kills two birds with one stone. Twine for tying things up. So I bring this basket out, and then generally in the evenings is when I have time to really harvest, and I'm thinking about dinner. But when I'm harvesting in the morning, I also bring this basket out and put everything in there. So keeping these things together makes it easy to just grab it and go. The other thing that makes life a little bit more easy for me is this little seat that has pockets to keep my tools. I do keep it under plastic underneath my table, my patio table, and it just makes it easy to grab and grow the tools that I'm going to need for the day. I need a spade, if I need my hori-hori, if I need a dibber. And I keep this in close proximity because if I were to put this away in a closet someplace or a storage place, I wouldn't grab what I needed as quickly, and frankly, I'll forget by the time I go inside to look for it what I needed in the first place. Plus, it's really cool to have this little chair to sit on to be able to tend my plants as they get taller. It saves my back. Deadheading. Making sure things are trellised properly so they're supported. Harvesting. Making sure plants have the right spacing and things don't get too overgrown. Pruning. And even just noticing the progress. Hello, nasturtium. Seeing the progress of the garden from one day to the next, it just inspires you to keep coming out and keep enjoying it. So these are the ordinary days. Like I said, there's always going to be some task that's specific to the time of year, but I do enjoy the nurturing and the tending to the plants. So just so you know, I do work full-time. Granted, I work from home, so it gives me a little extra flexibility. But in general, I only come out here in the mornings before work, and then in the evening before I start preparing dinner. And then I save my larger tasks for the weekends when I have free time. So it's nothing that anybody couldn't do if they worked, for example, outside of the home. Twice a day, once a day, whenever you can, and it is an enjoyable place to be, especially after all of the hard work that's been put into it. I listened to a really great gardening YouTuber called Gardener Scott, and his saying is, and I'm going to quote him, a garden grows where the gardener goes. So enjoy your gardens. Enjoy this extraordinary, ordinary time. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. And I hope you subscribe and hit the alert bell so you can see other videos as they come available. And from the Ladies Garden and Home, enjoy your gardening journey.